Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with another project for Memory Lane Scrapbook. And so last month I worked with the Fashionista collection, and this month I am focusing on the Hello Sweetheart collection from Carta Bella. And if you watched my videos last month, you know that I mentioned that I had a ton of Fashionista leftovers. So there was just a ton of really great stuff that came in that collection. And so I have pulled out a bunch of those scraps today, and I'm going to be using those along with Carta Bella's Hello Sweetheart to create kind of a fun look. Excuse me. Okay, so I took this 4x4 card, and this came in one of the cut apart sheets. And I loved this giant donut. And I have a kiddo who is obsessed with donuts. And so that card really stuck out to me right off the bat. And so what I did is I took my paper piercer and I pierced holes for all of the sprinkles in the top of the donut. And then I stitched them. And because they were just single little stitches, it really did not take very much time to add that detail. But it makes all of those little sprinkles look three-dimensional, which I thought was a really cool look. And so then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use this pink background, and this is also from that Carta Bella line, and it's a gorgeous background because it's a really pale pink with like almost like a watermarked heart pattern on top of it with just a touch darker hearts. And so I've backed that with just a black and white diagonal stripe, and then I'm going to be using this cut file that has all of these kind of wonky circles, and I thought this was a perfect cut file for my donut theme. And so I'm taking a bunch of those Fashionista scraps, and I am just going to, you can kind of see me there, I'm tracing with a pencil, and then I'm cutting out the little sections. And I'm just going to back a few of the sections with pattern paper from that Fashionista collection. So I'm only going to do 5 sections of those circles, and the rest of them are just going to stay plain. And so that was just using leftovers from what I had last month from that Fashionista collection. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to this sticker sheet. And this also came with Hello Sweetheart. And so this collection has this really great scalloped border, except that the little centers are left in there. So I had to pull all of those out. They didn't want to come out very easily. And I'm going to use this to create a little bit of a shelf for my card. So I am pairing up my 4x4 card that says, I do not know what I would do without you, along with this picture of donuts. And this is kind of an ongoing thing. This donut theme does show up in my scrapbooking often because I do have a little guy who is obsessed with all things donut. He absolutely loves donuts. And so we, as a family, we travel quite a bit. And so every new city that we go to, we try and find their, like, the place where they're known for donuts or their favorite, like a local hangout where they have a donut shop. And so we try really hard to always include one of these stops. So I always have a lot of donut pictures of him in these different places in different cities. And it's kind of become part of our travel tradition. And so I want to make sure that I've documented that because I think that that's an important kind of part, not of his whole story, but it's an important part of his story right now. So this is something that he's really into, and a way that we can kind of acknowledge that part of what he's into is by including it in our travel plans. And like I said, it's kind of become a family tradition, which is really fun. And so I've added a bunch of those little heart stickers that came on that sticker sheet. And then I'm also going to add this little banner. But I'm taking, the reason I keep disappearing off screen is I'm taking a bunch of the sticky off the sticker and I'm just putting it on the edge of my pants to get it unsticky, because I want it to be on this fun foam and stand up off the page. And it just says, yummy treats for my sweet. And I want it to sit kind of where that card and the photo meet, up there in that top little edge. And so I'm just making sure that I have enough of the sticky off of it that it's going to stand up as an actual banner. And then I'm going to move my photo around here just a little bit because I want to make sure that I have the placement where I want it to be. But I'm going to keep the embellishing on this layout pretty simple and let that cut file and that background kind of stand out and work for itself. I am going to take my pen and do my journaling in one of these little circles. And so I'm going to use this one that's right above the photos. And it just talks about how we go on these donut adventures in all these new cities. And this particular one was in Boston. And they had their famous donut was a Boston cream pie donut. And it was phenomenal, of course. And so I'm just including some of those little details about how this is part of our travel adventures now, and as well as the amazing donut that we found in that location. And so that's just kind of where my journaling is going to go with this particular layout. Like I said, we do have a few different donut layouts. If you go back in my playlist, you'll see more of them as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this alphabet. And I've been using this alphabet a lot lately because I absolutely I love the font of it. And this is from Dream On from Pink Fresh Studios. And so my title is just going to be Donut Love. And underneath the O's, I have put those little donut stickers from the Hello Sweetheart sticker sheet. And I really liked the detail that added, but I also felt like it still needed that black O from the font to really make it stand out. So I just layered those two things together. So you get a little bit of the donut look, and then you also still get the black detail of the letter. And then I'm just grabbing some black enamel dots, and I'm going to add some in that cluster, that little cluster I have going on above my photo where my journaling is. And then I'm also going to add a couple around my title. And that's basically going to do it for this layout. So like I said, I left the embellishing pretty simple. And I'm letting that 4x4 card as well as my photo kind of stand out. I really had enjoyed the look that it created, adding that stitching to the card where the little sprinkles are. So that's a really easy way to get some extra texture and dimension on a page like this. And so I really hope that you enjoyed seeing how I am using the Hello Sweetheart collection, and that you will stop by Memory Lane Scrapbook Store and check it out too. Bye!